Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is our third lecture. We did discuss introduction and basic steps of research. Then we discussed how to write get the data for writing the research papers and what are the scientific research papers or scientific research articles and what are the other articles. Here now we have to discuss how to formulate the research questions and then hypotheses. Formulating questions is not a tedious task, but it is an intelligent test work of our mind. When we see we have to start writing from general questions to the formulated research questions, and in here we identify the research interest that may help to specify our research questions. There are a lot of misconceptions about research questions that are from the role and functions of the research question. It has to do a lot in all research and throughout the process. It is one that you have to keep in mind your research questions throughout your research. Second is the task of formulating research questions. Normally people think that when they start writing research or working on their research papers or theses or any type of research activity in social sciences, they think that they start from what, how, when, etc. These types of questions. Basically, okay, these are the important things, but we have to take in mind that time and thought is a lot needed in these functions. And there are the misconceptions that research and questions, they have a lot of relationship in each other. You are doing quantitative research, then you have to prepare type of questions which are quantitative in nature or may help to lead the quantitative methods. Then if you are working on qualitative, you have to keep in mind as well. While formulating the research questions, you have to obey 6 rules. Number 1, get clear about what you want to know. Number 2, significance and development of knowledge. Number 3, is it contribution or addition to the knowledge? Number 4, is it base of everything you are following? Number 5, make your research focused, and it has to help your research focused. And number 6, early enabling the inclusion and also exclusion. You may include and exclude things. When you formulate questions, you see there are major 3 things. You keep in mind 3 areas. Number 1 is the question, number 2 the literature, number 3 the answer. In questions you have to formulate keeping in mind the literature, and answer to these questions is found in theoretical framework and data and sources. So answering a research question depends completely upon your thought process, such as theoretical framework and data and sources. Basically, the questions have significance for a topic or research and relating to the subject of the field. And questions must be researchable, answered through research, and have not been answered definitely. Definitively means that these questions have not been answered already. If you are refuting some research in quantitative or scientific research methods, then you may say that part of the research area, the questions have been answered, but that have not been answered amicably, so we are redoing the thing. So now the question comes, from where these questions, research questions are found? Do they come through some intuition? Do they come from heart? Do they come from some wisdom, so like folk wisdom or etc.? No. Basically, you have 2 areas. Number one is the literature available. Number two, the real world, the reality which you face in today, in normal time. Basically, the strategy to define, formulate research questions, you have four major sources. Number one is getting the library catalog and the online data. Second is the state of knowledge, breaking idea into parts so that you have pieces of research and then you can focus to answer. Number third, getting relevant line of action by investigation. Number four, reading, rereading, and then critically analysis of your work. In this way, you may face a lot of challenge, but you have to keep in mind the major keywords so that you define the questions easily. Strategy, you have to get the strategy which is more flexible as well as beneficial. There are 6 points you must have knowledge about that. Number one, identification of research area. Number two, case or specified research area. Number third, making general questions from these ideas. Number four, selection the dimension you want to proceed. Number five, you have to assemble the bibliography. Number six, you have to collect and read literature. This is the basic strategy to formulate, to have some pre-knowledge of your research for your research questions. In this research methods, we also give an example of research VAS. Normally you see VAS, there are different types, but you have top, middle, and bottom. The top has the broad research questions, topics related to the subject, and middle, these are the researchable questions, and at the end you have conclusion which eliminates the broad question. So you have to see that from top to middle to bottom you may go. Now you must have a question that how many types of research questions are there? There are many types we go through in daily life in social sciences, but we have major 5 types of research questions. Number one are the descriptive. They describe with who, what, where, when, etc. type questions. One has to describe the model of behavior. Then there are explanatory questions, cause or causing connection with connection of the 2 or more variables. Then you have it here. You explain the factors or conditions connecting to the known outcome. That you have a cause and effect relationship. To just define that. Number 3, it is the predictive, future or outcome of the incidents and events. You predict the behavior or outcome of the known factors. Then prescriptive, coming with the certain outcome, you prescribe the ways or adaptation or presentation of your idea. And the number 5, the last type is the normative question, just and right types of questions. They are bringing the normative analysis in your mind. There are many fallacies in framing the research question. Number 1, sometimes your questions have begs another question. So this is the wrong strategy, because if your questions need more questions inside it, it means that you haven't studied the material. It gives the first fallacy of your research question. The second is the false dichotomy. Many times we find dichotomy in our research. So if you present the false dichotomy, that situation is in one direction and you're presenting in the second direction in the question form, it means that you have biasness or you don't know anything. Number 3 is the asking. You ask some question that is about fiction. Number 4, that is metaphysical, the metaphysics science side. And number 5 is the tautology or rhetoric, that you have daily experience and expressions of your feelings, and then you present in the rhetoric. Where you find the literature from the questions. Number one, when you find the literature, you see that you have to read the literature and make sense of it. You don't have everything in your life, and you don't have to present everything. Then you have to summarize the literature, then have to set up the ways for presenting the argument. And these arguments give you some way. And this is here your asking the question ends. Asking the question is the research questions. And what is the answer to the questions? That is the second thing, and that is hypothesis. We see you ask questions, that is the research questions, and you answer the questions, that is the hypothesis. Hypothesis, if you read your hypothesis or someone's hypothesis, someone's research in social sciences, be it scientific or be it the other one, or quantitative or qualitative, anyone, you see there is a hypothesis. Normally you find the hypothesis in the applied fields of social sciences. In applied research, you see that your hypothesis basically answers your questions, and that is the what you call guru idea, which we normally call guru idea, to get something better for you. And in second part, inshallah, in the fourth debate, we will be answering the questions in the form of hypothesis. And what is the better hypothesis, what is null hypothesis, what is the
Dear audience, please like, comment and share our videos for spreading the truth. Subscribe our channel Creative Studio and press the bell icon for more updates. Keep in touch with us. Thank you.